Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. To our brothers and sisters across the globe, we bring a very special evening for all of you as a curtain raiser to North India Pravasi Divas, which is scheduled to be held on 14th of January. That's on Saturday, next Saturday, when you talk about not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have the curtain raiser. What do we propose to cover in North India Pravasi Divas? And how would be the deliberations and celebrations? We're just going to give you the valuable input for the same. So, hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the globe. Green morning, green afternoon, and green evening, wherever you are. India's service industry 2047, because in Amrit Kal, the Honorable Prime Minister has told, let's see, when we would be celebrating 100 years of India's independence, how India would look like. So our chamber, being International Chamber for Service Industry, we are focusing on Indian service industry in 2047. However, our focus during this particular deliberations on 14th of January will be on education, all kind of an education, whether school education, higher education, technical education, vocational education. We would also be talking on skills, competencies, capabilities, talents, passion. We will also talk about technology, how it is being adopted, particularly artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain. All that would be the integral part of the deliberations. Besides that, we will also talk about tourism. That's the subject which is next to our heart. We will discuss in detail about tourism as well. And the most important area which we take into consideration in education ecosystem is that we got to devote more time and efforts towards research and innovation. Of course, the outcome would always be there of any kind of education, any kind of skill development program. Either you go for startup, or you go for entrepreneurship, or you go for employment. But at the same time, when you're doing all this, there's a community development. And sometime we will also call it social entrepreneurship. Those areas can also be discussed. So this is what the broad spectrum which we have got for 14th of January. Let's move on now. Chamber, as you all are aware of, people those are associated with us deeply right from the beginning, the Chamber is a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are a link between India and our brothers and sisters across world Indians, Indian diaspora, non-resident Indian, and then of course with that is the corporate sector as well. And ICSI is the service industry strategist and facilitator. So today, let's look at the basic things which are very important with regard to service industry. What is the contribution of service industry in India? During pandemic, we all have seen how the health sector, education sector, delivery mechanism of the food and food related services and all that, they got the priority, and how they were being taken care of during the pandemic. That's once again the credit goes to services sector. Now, India is among the top 10 service exporter countries. When you look at the stats of 2020, having a 4.1% share in the world commercial services exports. So we know the China, India, Singapore, and Korea, and South Korea, I'm talking about China, Hong Kong, and that is exports from the developing countries. If I talk about exports from developed countries, then of course United States take the lead. And with that, we also take into consideration UK, Germany, France, Netherlands. That is once again, we have to take into consideration. Hearty welcome to all those who have joined on the YouTube. It's indeed a great pleasure to have all of you. I had a long day. Today there was a wonderful interaction with the B.Ed students in one of the prestigious colleges. Now, by the year 2030, export from India will be total approximately 2 trillion, and 1 trillion that is towards the products, and remaining 1 million is to be focused and to be generated from service industry. That's the way we look at the entire thing. So ladies and gentlemen, how much employment would be generated, what would be the benefits of it, all that has to be taken into considerations. On 14th of January, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 12 hours marathon. That's a North India Pravasi Divas, where we would be covering everything related to services sector. And we will also take into consideration what's happening in education, what's happening with the help of technology, and how the tourism is moving ahead. That also we will discuss. If you recall, in the thick of the pandemic, we had come out with the New Education Policy 2020, where we all discussed on education, skills, and technology. What are the changes which are being brought in the school education, higher education, technical education, vocational education? So on 14th of January, we would be releasing from our chamber a service industry compendium for the year 2023. And our focus, of course, in that would be education and skills. Let's move ahead. In education sector, the technology is playing very important role for all of us. It's all how you utilize the technology and how much you bring the positive nodes of the same in your education ecosystem. When we talk about future of higher education, 2023, this year will also witness launch of India's first digital university. Tomorrow, we will be deliberating and we'll be talking about National Digital University. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is digital university? What exactly is there? How India is going to get its first National Digital University? What exactly is going to be the role of UGC in that? And how the things are moving, we'll be discussing in detail tomorrow. Now, technology-based education, when you talk about vocational education, and what could be the emerging trends, of course, we are making use of the MOOCs, Moodle, and other platform, what we have got. Now, National Open School, when you talk about the National Institute for Open Schooling, it's playing very important role. The other day, I learned with a pleasure that more than 5 lakh youth, they join every year the NIOS. That's a large number, and it's growing leaps and bounds. We will also be talking on 14th of January about niche tourism, and our focused areas would be film tourism, spiritual tourism, agri-tourism, farm tourism, rural tourism, wellness and medical, the value addition which we do. So medical tourism advantage as far as India is concerned, we will be talking related to policy and other factors. MSME also play a very important role in our entire economy. So micro, small and medium enterprise, startups and entrepreneurships in services exports, that also will be covering up on that particular day. Now, when we look at the global networking and collaboration of the Indian teachers and educators in the area of globalization and education, if education is at the center, the core, then you got to understand the cross-border education. What are the issues related to that? Then ubiquitous education, what are the trends? Multilingual education, what are the trends? Change in accelerating the pace of everything. What exactly are the trends? And jobs that exist today may not be there tomorrow. That also is the area of concern which is to be discussed. As you all are aware, during the pandemic, we have completed 1,600 webinars, all dedicated to education sector with focus on teachers and youth. Our chamber is also very happy that way back in 1994, we brought India's first finishing school, where from more than 52,000 youth and 35,000 teachers, they've gone through the service industry. And the concept of finishing school, fantastic. As a part of, when you talk about the Rashtriya Uchchata Shiksha Abhiyan, but now the New Education Policy 2020, that's why from the brick and mortar concept, We are moving to inspirational lab with physics lab, chemistry lab, bio lab, computer lab, English lab. Why not we should have inspirational lab? So we wish that Chandigarh takes a lead and Chandigarh becomes the first city in India to set up the inspirational lab. And this should go for the benefit of students as well as teachers. They both should grow as a co-learners and they should move forward. So what exactly in inspirational lab we wish to do? What do we want to bring it over there? That is something very important. We have been joined by lots of dignitaries right over here. Sakshi ma'am, hearty welcome. Nancy Sangma ma'am, hearty welcome. Prachi Kalita ma'am, hearty welcome. Anand Mukherjee, hearty welcome. Rosie Chakma, hearty welcome. Lakhyajit Gohin, hearty welcome. Kim Kipkin, more than a welcome this evening. Deepa Hazarika, hearty welcome. Rishi Mohan, hearty welcome. And Madam Ravneet Chawla, Dr. Ravneet Chawla from the Government College of Education, Sector 20, Chandigarh, hearty welcome to you. Kalpana Vlog, hearty welcome. And Komal Mehra, hearty welcome. It's such a pleasure to have all of you with us. And together we can do wonders. Along with the principal of the institution where I had gone to give a talk, I saw the place and let that institution become the leader of setting up the trend for the Indian education ecosystem, where the inspirational lab work towards your curiosity, creativity, imagination, innovation, design thinking, critical thinking, adaptive learning, immersive learning, project-based learning, technology adoption, that is Internet of Things and ICT, exploring and experimenting, joyful learning, and of course, you have got empathy in education that all goes on. We also extend a hearty welcome to Mr. Ajay Kundal, who is joining us from Gurdaspur. Hearty welcome to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 21st century, we need digital inspirational lab, irrespective what level of education you are, but this is going to be the game changer in entire education. Now, somebody may ask, what exactly is going to be the focus in inspirational lab? On your mental wellness, on your physical wellness, your professional wellness, your social wellness, and of course, you should get a good job, your economic wellness. Now, your personality enhancement, your communication skills, curiosity and creativity, critical and collaborative thinking, storytelling and graphic novels, AVGC, you know, the budget was given in the last, the budget announced by Honorable Finance Minister on 1st February 2022. Now we look forward to 23. Then the passion, empathy, soft skills, life skills, lifelong learning, love for nature and happiness, organic living, nutrition, waste to resource management, water management, yoga, health and mental wellness, equity and diversity in education. And of course, entire education should be based on projects, life projects, living projects, realistic projects. And this inspirational lab would also be a platform for capacity building of educators and teachers. And ladies and gentlemen, always remember, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Together, we can bring the changes in the world. And why not to join hands with each other? Till date, the chamber during the pandemic and the post-pandemic has completed 1,770 webinars and many more to come. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank each one of you, and I'm really, really very happy that all of us, we are working together. We are moving in that particular direction, and the day is not far that India becomes Punaha Vishwa Guru. With these words, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you to join us on the YouTube channel ICSI India or Dr. Gulshan Sharma on 14th of January. Tomorrow, we will discuss in detail what is the final approval, what exactly is in the kitty, and how soon the digital university is going to become reality in India, what would be the norms, how it would function, with whom all it will partner, and at the same time, what kind of results would be achieved, obtained after the digital university comes up. With these words, we look forward meeting you again. Happy learning. Tomorrow evening, we all meet